Joining us now to take up what is going on with tariffs and trade and illegal immigration, we are joined by Ronil Hira, professor of public policy at Howard University. And Professor, great to have you with us. Good to see you as always. Let's start with this report from the Wall Street Journal that the White House pushed back against, that the White House is considering unilaterally to reduce tariffs and to back off from the president's assertion that he wants balanced, reciprocal, fair trade as a way to get them to come to the table and get serious. I can't personally think of a more preposterous idea, apparently proffered by Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. What is your reaction?
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me why you would take the pressure off. I don't know how that helps you in the negotiations. If you've got the Chinese worried about tariffs, why would you pull them back away from those? And the other thing to keep in mind is that the Wall Street folks are the same ones who sold us a bill of goods 20 years ago, telling us that we were going to be able to export a lot to China, and that really hasn't panned out. Instead, we run persistent, very, very large trade deficits, even in advanced technology products.
As a matter of fact, China is the one exporting advanced technology to us, and we've got a few folks wanting to applaud the idea that they would buy soybeans from us. I mean, this is the exact reverse of how the relationship between China and the United States should be framed, both in terms of trade deficits, as the president points out. It should be balanced. They should not be running tariffs 10 times greater than we put against goods. And they're stealing us blind, Ron. Stealing us blind. And we've got somebody in the White House, maybe the Treasury Secretary, wanting to appease them, for crying out loud, while they're threatening Taiwan. And one of their two-bit admirals is talking about sinking a couple of our aircraft carriers.
Well, the Wall Street folks really like the deals that we've struck with China. I mean, it's been basically a disaster for the average American, right? As we've massively offshored jobs, we've got persistently high trade deficits, and we're transferring all that technology. So it's not just the tariffs, it's also the non-tariff barriers to trade, the forced technology transfer. Nobody would have predicted 20 years ago that China would be exporting computer network technology, that would be building all of these iPhones and smartphones and building their own companies that are making those kinds of technology, high-tech devices and whatnot. So the textbook economics just doesn't work here.
Textbook economics in the relationship with China, there isn't a chapter in most textbooks about espionage and stealing $600 billion of intellectual property from a country and technology from a country that, by the way, goes straight to the PLA, the Communist Army, and we are the ones stupid enough, as the president has pointed out, president after president has not understood the concept that if you let a country steal all of your technology, all of your advanced intellectual property, they don't have to, they don't need a decade to move from emerging to developed. They need about a year and a half.
Yeah, that's right. Technology catch-up happens a lot faster than most people realize, and it's happened at a remarkable rate for China. And it has huge national security implications, right? I mean, the reason we have such a robust high-tech industry in the U.S. is because of all our research and development investments, mostly from the Department of Defense. Most computing technology was underwritten by the Department of Defense, and that means you and I as U.S. taxpayers, and we're just giving that stuff away.
Yes, and the Treasury Secretary, and it appears to be the one who would like to continue the process by dropping these tariffs and thinking of this not in geopolitical, strategic terms that would involve consideration of defense as well as markets. It's just mindlessly naive on the part of the Treasury Secretary to proffer such a proposition to the president or to the public.
Well, I think those companies, Wall Street profits from this kind of trade arrangement. So they're going to push for that and continue to push for it. It's bad for America, bad for the American workers, too.